Hello and welcome to a Bergkamp Wonderland. We are still your number one cooking show that has a little bit of football involved. Look at that. There is the banner. AI made that because I said make a Premier League table with Arsenal at the bottom. So it did. Because Arteta's going to get the title of this show. It's all over. Arteta is getting us relegated because if you believe the what the media and all the fans are saying, it's all but done. We're knackered. With me tonight to talk about the state of our club because it's falling apart and he should be sacked according to Twitter. Is starting the top right is Richard. How you doing, Treacle?
How's it going, Danny? Very well. I'm very well. Happy to be here. How are you, my good man?
I'm back on the carnivore diet and I'm aching a lot. I was going to think of something rude to say there, but I won't say anything rude. I'm just aching a lot. Yeah, I'm sleeping a lot, and I'm finished with the wringing out the sponge part of the carnivore diet, which is going for a wee every 3 hours. That bit's done. That takes 10 days. It's easier just not to eat bad food.
Yeah, it sounds grim. I'm not going to lie.
How's life in the library?
Yeah. Going well. Just hopefully getting this first bit of the NHS life out of the way up until the financial year starts again, and then it's all gangbusters.
Very nice indeed. Next, we've got Femi. You haven't been on for a while, Femi. You've been swanning around the world, paying people in gold sovereigns. Have some gold sovereigns, my man.
No, just work been taking over my life, but can't complain. Work and football, lots of football.
Lots of football. And we have been your therapy device in the WhatsApp group when you're pulling what little hairs you've got on you. No, he hasn't got any hairs left to pull out. It is sad times, but we're gonna come back to that. Finally, it's Josh. How you doing, Josh? You just had your nut cutlet and made us all watch as you stuffed it in your greedy ginger gob.
Yeah, it's a good thing I've got a good sense of humour, right? When my diet is probably closer to yours than anyone else.
I'm trying to make people believe that you're a vegan, so they bully you, but it's not working. Not one person has ever said anything.
No, I think I get bullied for other reasons, and yeah, it's probably that. We'll go with that anyway. But yeah, it's going all right. I think similar to Femi.
Are you happy though? How's being Papa Josh? Have you learned anything new this week? Because we've all been through it.
Yeah, I've learned some things.
What?
She's got a chair now, so she's sitting up. She's shouting.
Yeah.
We were doing some dancing in the kitchen. She's learning the vast array of Arsenal songs and football-related chants as well.
Yes.
So you're getting sacked in the morning is a good one for her to really get used to. It's mainly helpful for when we walk through Brighton Town Centre and just say, why is that manager still there at the Amex? He should be gone. And the bald fraud in Liverpool. There's many managers that really should be sacked, but I guess that's why it's the worst Premier League season ever, as I've been told by every man and his dog on Sky. And there's never been a worst Premier League ever. This is the worst thing ever you've ever witnessed. We can't believe we paid $2 gazillion for the rights to this terrible season.
Did you? Narrative?
I was going to say, did you see the overlap today? So I know that the thingy. Did you see the overlap?
I haven't yet, but I can imagine how it went. Is that the one with Dennis Bergkamp? Or...
No. It was it was Neville, Righty, Jill, Roy Keane and Paul Scholes, and they brought up Paul Scholes' comment, and I think Righty effectively said, "Shut up, you guys won the league with like 70 points," which did make me smile. I was like, "Guess in there, Righty."
I guess they'd hit the amount of charisma they were allowed on that show. Hence, Paul Scholes had to come in.
Have you heard it with Wayne Rooney on there? Everything's half a syllable. That's all he can manage in any fucking sentence.
I've been waiting. I haven't got to the Bergkamp one yet because I really want to understand what his view was of the Manchester United 99 treble winning side and how he felt facing them, and if there was any inside scoop on how Sir Alex is the whole reason Man United ever existed. But yeah, I look forward to that one.
Do you think it's got anything to do with the fact that we're top of the league? Possibly.
It's really boring because we're still engaging in the clickbait, and I guess it's really annoying them because they're like, oh, we're gonna have to talk about something else. But I did enjoy, at least for a little bit, people just about clocking that after Ten Hag left, Arne Slot has slipped seamlessly into the bald Dutch fraud requirement that we must have in the Premier League. But eventually, the Scousers will sack him.
Yeah, he'll be gone. He'll be gone end of the season.
Yeah, I think they're too proud to sack him at the moment because they're like, oh, we never sack anybody. We've never sacked a manager mid-season apart from Brendan Rodgers. Who definitely left on his own accord. We definitely didn't sack him after his terrible stuff.
Then you got to think about that Alonso bloke is there. He's just hanging around waiting for a team to come and get him. So they've got to be thinking, oh, God, he played for us. Oh, Slaphead's no good. What are we going to do?
Yeah, they'll line that up for the summer. He probably wants a break as well. And I wouldn't be shocked to see Tottenham go back in for Slot as well.
To be honest, the way Liverpool have been organised in the last couple of seasons, it wouldn't surprise me if Xabi Alonso turned up at City and they fumbled that one. Like they fumbled Mark Gay and they fumbled all the contracts as well. But they've got any defenders with more than 2 years left on their contract that have got Premier League.
Quite interesting, actually. I think there's going to be so much managerial change in this summer. I think only maybe 5 managers in the league I can see actually staying, and that's if Pep stays as well.
Yeah, someone said that on the podcast, didn't they? It's a Guardian, wasn't it? They were talking about that.
I think I heard it on the ramble, but similar numbers, yeah.
But I mean, what did they say?
Yeah. So you got Arteta staying.
Moyes.
Maybe.
Moyes.
Yeah. The fans don't really want him to stay. I've heard they're not happy at Everton.
In theory, Farker.
Yeah, he seems to be getting away with it because
if they stay up, they might go down, and then that's.
But then he's probably the best manager to get you back up anyway. It's Farker.
True. Who else? I don't know who else. Most of them are looking for a new manager.
Oh, Spurs one isn't going to be there. He's definitely going.
Spurs, he's gone. United. Well, if you go United, they're probably going to either keep Carrick, but they're going to have a new manager either ways. They've just got one. Chelsea just got one.
Did you see that tweet I did for him about Carrick? Because his first time there, he played 2 games and won 1 and drew 1, so he had a 66% win ratio. Now he's had 2 wins out of 2, 100%. So I tweeted he's had 166% win ratio. Not a single person. Like the old days, there'd have been a pylon on that. Nothing.
You're trying to rage bait them, Danny.
Yeah, I'm giving up.
You didn't mention Arsenal. That's the problem. You have to mention Arsenal if you want to rage bait people.
Is LinkedIn Liam going to stay?
Yeah, he's doing well, isn't he? To be fair.
Yeah, I guess so.
Doing well.
Who's that?
Well.
LinkedIn Liam.
Liam.
Senior.
The Chelsea manager.
Chelsea manager. Sorry, he's not the. He's the manager.
Yeah, but how many of those teams are kicking themselves that they didn't, like Chelsea and Man United, both would have loved to have Alonso there, wouldn't they? And they both must have gone, oh, is the ink dry on that contract? Can we rip it up and get Alonso in? Because he's definitely a very decent manager, but nobody. I mean, I read today about a half hour ago that Real Madrid are considering a move for Emery. I thought if you didn't like Alonso with his strictness there in the football, they are not going to put. Emery wouldn't even put his suitcases down before the players revolt against him, wouldn't they?
I want him out because he's doing too well at Villa. But I just let him leave. Go back to Spain.
He's managed all the clubs beginning with V there, hasn't he? Valencia, Villarreal, and Aston Villa. There's no more. Where else in the world can he go where a team begins with V? Port Vale?
Port Vale.
There's probably a few in Russia.
Vladivostok. That's about it. Oh, Josh, someone says your audio sounds like you're in a tin can. I think your audio sounds all right.
Well, maybe Jimmy's in a tin can. I don't know. I did just adjust my mic because it was a little bit off. But
you got new headphones. Why'd you get that?
I do. Work gave them to me, and then I googled how much they were, and I thought maybe I should ask for 3 pairs, and 2 mysteriously break.
Oh, and then get them on the old eBay.
I didn't say that.
So when we talk about the managers, if he doesn't win the title this season, is he going to get fired?
Arteta's going to get Arteta's going to get a new contract. Do you know what's going to be? I'm going to laugh so much. There's so many people that I see on social media that they don't just hate him; they detest Arteta.
Every chance they get.
Yeah, and all I reply to, I'm just trolling him now. I just reply, "What are you going to do when he gets a new contract? Are you going to stop supporting Arsenal? Because I think that's the only thing that you can possibly do with all this hate that you have for this man."
It's not right.
I have a quick question on that, because I mean, let's say I've stepped away from all of that, like social media and stuff like that. Yeah, and things like that, because I had a conversation with a friend of mine the other day, the other week, and he said about, oh, you must be loving it. You know, you're top of the Premier League, you're top of the Champions League, blah blah blah. And I said, you know, so weirdly, I've not enjoyed this season. I've really not enjoyed this season, apart from the Champions League games.
Yeah.
But like the league games, I've really not enjoyed it. I don't think the football has been the best. But it's like every week I'm watching us go up against 2 banks of 5 and just a dirge of football, and then just the punditry and social media stuff. Everything is just so binary and stuff like that. Like I think it peaked for me during the whole Arteta Emery discussion, and it was like if you preferred Arteta, that means you must think Emery was the shittest thing ever. And if you liked Emery and you thought Emery was a good manager, you think Arteta. And I just thought to myself, like, mate, I've all these outside noises and stuff like that has really made me not enjoy this season. I don't know about you guys.
I'm gonna say that is 110% true. And I find myself, and you know what? I think maybe it's just the way these things are built. I don't even find myself looking at people I follow anymore. I find myself on that For You tab more than anything. And I think it's the most miserable. And I hate it. And I hate myself for looking at it. And I get angry and I reply to these things. And some of them I'm like, yeah, that's actually true. But I will never in public not back Arteta or Arsenal. In private, anyway, I'll kick his back in all day long. Not the manager, but the football. I don't like it, but it's true. I think you're so right. I think there's just the talk, the clips, the this is the worst league ever. If they're the worst champions ever, all of that stuff just makes you not enjoy. And then I think, when you get to the end of the season, say we do win something, it's very fleeting that you can enjoy that as well. Because look at Tottenham, they've been booing ever since they won the Europa League. Every week they just turn up to their stadium to boo. It's just they just boo. So
it's definitely something surrounding the entire league. Because I think if we asked, based on gut feeling, how many games do you reckon we've lost this season? It's
10,
far
12.
higher. Yeah, exactly. And it's 3. We've lost 3 games this season. And
36, I think.
Yeah, and it sounds insane to think of it. And 5 draws as well? So it's not like we've drawn 100 games and we've not won any. It's just there feels like there's a big malaise about everything. But I think, Femi, as you were kind of saying, I don't think it's just Arsenal that are boring to watch this season. I don't think anyone's playing good football in the Premier League at least, outside of Europe. All the domestic fixtures are boring as hell. Possibly exciting if you're Aston Villa because they keep twatting them in from 40 yards. But again, not necessarily sustainable. But to say, I'm not very happy about the football that's being played at the Amex. That's horrendous as well.
But you don't go anymore, do you?
No. because of the horrendous football and a child turning up, but also the horrendous football. Speaking to my uncle who still goes, and he was like, "Are you disappointed that you've not got your season ticket anymore?" So absolutely not. The football is terrible. I would not pay to go there and spend 3 hours watching a team that doesn't have a functioning midfield, doesn't play exciting football. And it just feels like maybe there isn't any managers in there playing open, expansive football. It might just be a case of all 20 managers who are currently in place just don't have that front-footedness like we had a couple of seasons ago. Maybe Man United will start to become the great entertainers again under Michael Carrick, but if anyone watched his Borough team, it's going to be pretty quick to turn around. But yeah, it's that, or there's something about this World Cup at the end of the season where players are maybe playing at about 80%, unless of course your name is Declan Rice, in which case he's just playing at 100%. He seems to be
110 is football we're talking about. It's 110.
Sorry. 110 at least. But he seems to be the only player that I can see that is playing at the level of intensity that I think everybody else in the league should be. But I don't know if anyone else agrees with that.
Who's that? Sorry, who was
Declan Rice seems to be the only player who's playing with the kind of intensity I'd expect.
All game, every game.
All game, every game. No one else seems to be at that level.
I was saying the other day that I thought Gabriel had dropped a level since he's come back from his injury. He just doesn't look himself. He doesn't look. I don't know. He just looked a bit quiet sometimes, and a bit like, if you just look at his, remember the goal he gave away against Bournemouth, was it? And he just had this look on his face, and he's looked like that ever since that game. He just doesn't look absolutely right somehow, but hopefully a week off will get his energies back. But you know what you were just saying, how many games have we lost this season? You said, I remember I did a count in, and I got it up to 8th of January this year. We've lost with Sunday now, we've lost 18 games in the last 4 seasons. That's absolutely insane. We've lost 18 games only in the last 4 seasons total. That's some teams lose that in 1 season, basically.
And then they win the Europa League.
You on about Premier League games?
Yeah, 18 Premier League games in 4. That's how many? What's that? 38 times 3 plus whatever we've played this season. That's over 120, 130 games. We've lost 18. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, and it's going down every season. It's 3 this season, 4 last season, 5 before that, then 6, and before that, 13, 13, 10, 10, 13.
Yeah, that's
He doesn't get
that's why I said last 4 seasons.
Edit in the stats.
Yeah, you can also say we're the second highest goal scorers in the league this season, and I think Femi, when we were looking at it, weren't we? We were the second only to Manchester City overall all competitions as well, purely just because they stuck 10 past Exeter. Yeah. And they're probably going to stick another 15 past Salford City.
So who they're playing?
That's who they drew. Of course they drew.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah, it was that.
Then he'll probably still play Haaland. He'll still play Haaland as well.
Yeah.
It's funny how Man City aren't getting the grief over Haaland scoring. What has he scored? 1 goal in 7 games, not including penalties. But when Gorka
until last night, yeah.
How many did he get last night? I didn't look.
He scored. Did he just get the 1 and a couple of assists against Galatasaray? Yeah.
Yeah, it was a bit hectic last night. I didn't keep up.
That was his first open play goal. Yeah, so he basically had a worse record than Victor in the last, I think it was 9 games. He had scored 1 penalty in 9 games. That was all he had until yesterday.
But it's just so annoying and out of order, the fact that Liverpool are defending champions, spent 450 million quid mid-season, and they're currently 6th in the league. They've lost the same number of games as Bournemouth, Brighton. They've lost more than Sunderland. They're 7th place, 6th place, and no one's having to go at them like that. We're top of the league. We were at some point a week ago. We're 7 points clear. And then we got a goal. We've only let in 17 goals, and it's just the usual. It's like, remember Adrian Durham, the Daily Arsenal. It's that all over again. When we're good, it's the day. It's that we're not good enough. And when we're shit, we're the worst team in the world. And it's just, it goes back historically, back to in the beginning of the Premier League. It was Arsenal v Man United, and that's what did it for about the first 10 seasons ish. Because then you had loads of kids either supported Man United, Liverpool, or Arsenal. And then in the next years, it was the years before that, when the 89, when we won the title, and in 91, we were the ones that broke the back of Liverpool. And so all the Liverpool fans and all the Man United fans, and plus our arch rivals Spurs, that's who all the media is. They're all Liverpool, Man United, or Spurs fans. And that's why the media has constantly got it in for us, because they all hate us because we broke Liverpool. We were the only competition for Man United, and Spurs are just jealous. And that's what we're dealing with every day. You go, who do you support then? I had this woman come round to take some blood. I said, oh, where are you from? I always ask everybody where they're from. She went, she's from South London. And she said, oh, so is my husband. I went, I'm from London. I said, who do you support then? She went, Liverpool. And I went, how about your husband? He went, Liverpool. I went, obviously you support Liverpool. Well, when I have delivery drivers and they come and they I said, what team do you support? I always judge them. I go, what do you? And he went, oh, I support Man United. I went, oh, I can tell from the Manc accent. I always do that, a Manc accent, and they go, I don't have a Manc accent. I went, yeah, exactly. I know you don't. Why the hell are you supporting Liverpool or Man United? But it's just so many of them, and they're always out for us.
But then
I'll quickly just ignore that I'm not from London and support Arsenal.
But then the only thing is, until we win, I think it's always going to be like this. And
it's
even
get worse when we win.
It might. You're right. It might.
They're never going to go. They're never going to go, oh, hands up, lads. Brilliant. Well done. You're fantastic.
Yeah.
No.
It'll be like, why didn't you do that last season?
Yeah. And it's getting to the stage where I don't even know if winning the Premier League alone is going to stop that kind of noise. People are now building to say, oh, you only won the Premier League. Why didn't you win the other one? Why didn't you win the Champions League? Oh, you finished top of the group. Oh, it doesn't mean anything because you didn't win it. I guarantee you that's coming if we don't win it.
Here's a quick question for you guys and for the chat as well. After the weekend, how many messages did you get that said the bottle is on, that the bottle was started? And all I would just say, if anyone is a Liverpool fan, make sure you've gone back to the Gerrard slip season and just have a screenshot of how that looked 3 games to go when they properly bottled it. Because it was insane. It was like the bottle's on, and like, come off it. Like, you can't bottle.
I went into full Mugabe media lockdown. I shut off every bit. I was so annoyed. Thingy, but like, you know, people were saying, oh, Arsenal, the league's sewn up after like 10-15 games or something silly like that. And now you know, 2 weeks ago they were saying, oh, the quadruple's on, can Arsenal, and it's mate, all they're doing, again the pundits are doing and stuff like that is, you know, the only reason why they say that we're favourites is stuff like that is so that if it does go wrong, they've got more things to chirp about and more sticks to beat us with.
It's the Gary Neville unattainable absolute that he always puts out there, doesn't he? He says, oh, if Arsenal don't score in the next 5 minutes, that's it. That's their season ended. Yeah.
You were talking about things that you got. Now, when we went over to, I said before, did I say Jurrien? Or anyway, Sean and her mum went back to Ireland, the motherland, for my cousin's 60th birthday, surprise one. And then so I got one of my mum's sister had 6 kids, 6 boys, 5 boys, 2 girls. And so Sean gave the phone number to one of them, and I got, no, I never speak to them. I don't have anything to do with them. I'm never going to go to Ireland. And so she just gave him my number. I said, because we were playing Man United at the weekend, and Sean's now quite proud of the fact she's an Arsenal fan. I mean, she's always said she was. And so the first thing that my cousin sent me, this. For those at home on the bus and having a poo, it's the bridesmaid, the group that is always the bridesmaid and never the bride. And it's got Odegaard, Goalkeepers, Saka, Rice, and is that Jurgen Klopp wearing glasses? I don't know who that other one is.
And meant to be Arteta, isn't it?
Yeah, straight away. And so I just sent in this one back. Man United having a bus parade because we have a thing saying we beat Arsenal. And just because Josh mentioned what things did the ones that I have ready, they're the ones I've ready. And my Spurs supporting friends, I never hear from them because they there's no point because they'll do one and then I can do 1,000 in return. Yeah. So
yeah, I am. I hate Man United more than most teams. I think I might hate them more than Tottenham, actually, to be honest with you, because because Man United actually stopped us winning things. They actually, in my childhood or in my they actually just made me miserable. Tottenham would never. They was just irrelevant, really. Man United actively made me that Dennis Bergkamp penalty miss. My goodness me, I can still remember that like it was yesterday, where he could have stopped that treble single-handedly in the last minute, and he missed the penalty. Yeah, the FA Cup one. Yeah,
I was there.
Roy Keane had been sent off, and we had that game in the palm of. We could have all that history that they had. We could have stopped it with that one last kick of the ball, and those things just. And then we didn't win the league for another 2 seasons after that. So yeah, Man United, I actively hate them, and the fact that they came to our stadium, they broke all of our records, just annoyed me. That three goals, that 3 goals conceded record. I loved that record. I was boasting at it everywhere. I was like,
what was that?
We would never concede 3 goals. We hadn't conceded 3 goals since
600 days or something.
Luton in 2023 was it 2023 or 2024?
Is that when we beat them 4-3?
Yeah, that's the last time we conceded 3 goals in any competition, Champions League, anywhere. So it was just like, they broke that, and they beat us at home. They went, all the records that we had, they just came and, but we've only got ourselves to blame in that game, as far as I'm concerned, because they weren't even in the game until we decided to basically start passing backwards for some reason. I don't know why or what made that happen.
I think, right, because I don't think it's just been born out of that Man United game, because I've seen it for the last couple of games, like the Forest game and even probably going back as far as the Wolves game. I think the players are kind of cracking a little bit under the pressure and in the league, because, we've been second for the last, 3 seasons or whatever it was. And the fact that, we've got this lead, but it's not just anybody who's chasing you. It's the T1000 of Man City, and the fact that our defenders have got injured. Oh, it's fine. We'll just go and pay Mark Gahey $300,000 a week. Oh, Marmoush is in AFCON, or our wingers aren't doing very well. That's all right. We'll just go and buy Semenyo for 60 million, just at a drop of a hat. And the same thing they did last January and stuff like that. I think we've then started playing ridiculously nervously. We were doing stuff that the last time I saw, and I think it was one of the reasons why Arteta wanted to get rid of Kieran Tierney. The amount of times I've seen the last couple of games, and I think it was even in the Wolves game, I think we were doing it, where we're panicking and we're just launching the ball upfield trying to clear our lines. And it's become more and more prevalent in the games where we're lumping it up to absolutely nobody, because we seem nervous, and like I said, we so don't want to lose that we're kind of panicking, if that makes any sense. And I think that kind of bore out in the United game, which was weird because we went 1-0 up. We started making so many sloppy passes, and it's like you can't even have really pop at the people that were like, as in like Mikel Arteta, for the team that he put out there. The team that he put out there, and even the changes that he made, should have beat that United side, really. But the amount of sloppy passes from so many players, and it just seemed like every dropped ball, every bounce just didn't seem to go our way. And how many, like Femi, you were there at the game, you'll be able to what's it called, every time a pass didn't go to its intended target, it went loose and it went to a Man United place, and the groans and the things. And naturally, I'm not having a pop at the fans because I was doing it from my seat in front of the telly, like just. And it was just saying, we just looked so uncharacteristically without poise, and yeah, it was just there was nothing good that came out of it.
Do you know what stops that sometimes? Winning a big tackle. In that game, we were losing every battle, every duel, every second ball, and I've never seen that. That's one thing I've never seen before. Actually, against Liverpool in the second half, I did see that. It was very similar. If you put in a crunching tackle that wins the ball, it would have got the crowd up. But we just kept losing the ball. It's like we were just scared or something. And one thing that has changed definitely is the red cards that we got last season has affected the way that we play. Because this season we are not even going anywhere close to any disciplinary tightrope. We are not putting in crazy tackles. We play things by the book when it comes to referee. I think that's something that we haven't even spoke about. That I think Arteta's drilled into their head. Don't take any chances when it comes to referee. But sometimes you need a good tackle, solid tackle to get the crowd up and get the crowd making noise. You know, like you said, it was a lot of moaning and groaning because not just the passing, the battling, the things that we're used to seeing just wasn't there, to be honest.
It's that we're not taking as many risks. I think because I didn't see the United game as live, but at least watching the highlights, the build up to one of the United goals where they've got that interchanging, quick one touch through a midfield. We have the players, obviously, to play that way. We see glimpses of it within games, but I think it's also a little bit down to the setup that we don't want to necessarily give the ball away. And it's still always in, I think, the forefront of the players' minds and Arteta's minds is to continue controlling the game. I don't think we're quite full horseshoe of death that we had when Arteta first came in. I think under Emery as well, that was kind of sitting there. But it's a different kind of horseshoe now. And I think partly, Femi, you pointed it out, I think that how high our fullbacks are is contributing to that, because then we don't have that cover centrally. Everybody is so high up the pitch that if there is a counter, we are really susceptible to it. So rather than us trying to play a nice, Jogo Bonito, full Brazil, Copacabana Beach style interplay that we see, we have Eze in, and Eze started to show things like that. It's just a case of we're just so risk adverse to playing that. And I think we could attempt it because we're so scared of that counter. Because, as you say, Femi, with our disciplinary record from the last couple of seasons, you can see very quickly, just a mild giving away of the ball, and we get that tackle wrong on the counter attack. That's probably the game lost over just one small thing that we do maybe 20 minutes in.
But you say we're risk averse, but we love taking risks with David Raya at the back. Well, we will take all the risks over there around that box, our own box. We'll all day long.
It's like an episode of Scooby-Doo. I expect him to pull a rubber mask off and have the face of Almunia underneath it at times. It's absolutely shocking.
Yeah, we'll take those risks.
What's he doing?
But further forward, like you said, Josh, we're so scared to lose the ball. Like Eze gives the ball away a lot, but he gives it away trying to play central passes, which I think sometimes you have to do. Like yesterday, go on. Sorry. Yeah, yesterday, did you notice? That yesterday we did not pass backwards to Kepa in the first half? I don't think Kepa had a touch apart from to pick up the ball from the penalty. We did not go back once to him. We kept every time. So maybe there's a reliance on David Raya as well.
Yeah, because we have him as a playmaker in there, and
One thing I did
notice about
one of our two of our playmakers, Saliba's been like one of our busiest people on the ball and our most creative player in the ball in the last couple of games. That's terrible.
Have you seen the positioning of Timber in the last 2 or 3 games that he's played, where he's been virtually playing in the Bergkamp role at times?
Yeah, and it's no wonder that Saka is getting terrible output at the moment, because he's the one that's in where Timber is, right out on the wing, nowhere really near the goal.
Yeah.
And it's so congested because we've brought basically our entire team forward. There's no space for Saka to get in, and he's got to try and get that, kind of Iron Robin style into the corner, but he's not got the space to operate in.
You see, a couple of games ago, was it Man United? They moved Saka over to the left-hand side and had Noni on the right, and Saka just did. It's like he's never played there in his life. It wasn't good to see. I mean, that was another Arteta tactical thing that we shouldn't really try out in a game. I mean, we could have said, if you're going to put Saka on the left, it's not really going to work. Occasionally, him and Trossard or him and Martinelli will swap sides for 5 minutes. But when you bring on Noni, who's going to play on the right, and Saka move him to the left for the rest of the game, that was a sign, a massive sign of desperation from Arteta. Didn't he bring on 4 players after 56 minutes or something against United? Yeah, he was obviously panicking.
He was angry. He was angry. But yeah, I don't know, man. But to be fair, it was a hard defeat to take. But I think what came out of it was the press conference that he gave on Tuesday. I thought he was excellent.
What did he say? Because I don't listen to them.
Oh, you don't? That was probably one of his best ones, to be fair. He basically was. It was like a rallying cry, really. He was just said, fans and players, you have to enjoy this. You don't get times like this very often. And we got a beautiful journey ahead. You have to enjoy and live every moment. And he said one thing is the players, they've spoken, they're going to give absolutely everything, and that's the kind of things that you kind of want to hear. I know it sounds like very speechy and any given Sunday type, speech, but I think he needed it. It's like he came into that press conference and any question they would have asked him, he was going to say exactly what he came out with. And he kept hammering it home. He kept saying, look, we have to all enjoy it, and I think that's a message to everyone, and I've been saying it throughout the season. I was like, we've watched Arsenal win the league in 2004. We were all there, and you never know. If I would have told you that would have been our last league win for 22 years, we would have all laughed. It's not guaranteed. Yeah, it's not guaranteed that this isn't going to be our last a league win that we might not remember in like 10 years. We haven't won another one. So what did you do during that season? I know the football, for me personally, is not enjoyable, and it's hard to connect. It's hard to disconnect that joy with always winning games by really, really tight margins. You can't enjoy it. You might be able to enjoy like the night after because you've won, but during the game, it's so pressured because we're just not in a relaxed position ever. I don't remember the last time we won, apart from Villa, maybe. The last time we won by more than one goal or 2 goals where it was a late goal. So, but at the same time, you don't want to. This is a special season as far as I'm concerned. So we've only lost 3 games and we're coming up to end of January. I think that's really special. Either ways, whatever happens for the outcome of the season, unless we totally fall apart, then I just think from now to the end, just try and enjoy it. Really, whatever happens. We've lost before anyway. The world doesn't come to an end. Just get off social media and pretend, and get off all your groups that Arsenal fans aren't in, and pretend like it didn't happen.
I'm only in groups of you lot. That's it. I'm in 2 Arsenal groups, one for the podcast and one for where we all talk bollocks. But you look at
sorry, Danny. I pretended that Tottenham didn't win that trophy last year. I just totally ignored it. It's like it never happened to me.
If you look at the games, we lost 3. One, Liverpool, a wonder goal. He could do that 1,000 times and he'd only score once. The Villa one was another smash and grab. And the Man United one was us too busy going, well, we've got it back to 2-2. Oh, where's the... Oh, they fucking scored. Lack of concentration is what caused that. And
or lack of
so it's not like we've gone out there like Liverpool or City this season and been humbled by shit teams. We've lost to Liverpool, who at that point were pretty decent, Villa, who are fighting for the title, and Man United, who are the new greatest team in the world until they lose and fall apart and all their confidence goes and they have the new manager bounce.
I don't even want to say Liverpool were good in that game, by the way. They
scored
because a guy scored the best free kick he's ever going to score in his life.
They weren't
now
good.
Spends the rest of his life trying to replicate that free kick that he will never score. He's basically a Hungarian Figueroa, as far as I'm aware. And as far as I'm concerned, he's just going to live off that now.
But there is too much, isn't there, Rich? I mean, you don't go to the games anymore, do you, Rich? Like
no, not anymore, unfortunately.
Too expensive.
Don't have the time or the money. No, I don't have that Femi money, unfortunately.
Well, I've got the money. I've just got no one to go with me because whoever comes with me gets in for free, and my season ticket's half price. And would you think I could get everybody to come with me? Come out, bollocks. What was I going to say? It's the too much this season. I've seen us in the first half going, missing open goals, putting it wide, putting it over. The goalkeeper having the game of his life, and then in the second half, we give up. Or in the first half, we go. It's like a Game of Thrones. Hold. In the second half, we go right, go, and then we start attacking. It doesn't work out, but it seems there's too much. He's too scared. Remember in the Emery days, he was near the end. He got so scared to lose that the football was just dog shit. And that's I don't think we're not going. I think we're still going to win the title. I don't think it's all going to fall apart. But you can see that the further this season goes on, the more cautious Arteta gets them to play, the less risks we're going to play. And the kingpin of that is the Odegaard doing the horseshoe of doom. On the right wing, no one, middle of the pitch, no one, left wing, no one, middle of the pitch, back again. It's either doing that or we're passing back to the defenders and then passing back to the goalkeeper and doing too much of that. Meanwhile, Goalkeepers is going, can I have the ball? Can I just have one? Can you put the ball through the middle of the defence and just give it to me like Havertz did yesterday? We're never going to see that, are we, under Arteta?
I don't know if it's so much you're never going to see that, because I think a lot of it, as I said at the start of the pod, right? A lot of it is kind of game state and who you're playing. When you look at how like I say, I've really enjoyed the Champions League. You can't really say that we've not played exciting football and beaten teams well in the Champions League, because you've got teams there who are, either a lot poorer than us or are trying to win the games themselves. Whereas like in the Premiership, literally it's, and when you say like, the old horseshoe of doom, which to be fair, that goes back to Wenger days, let alone Emery. It's literally, it's just 2 banks of 5, because teams know if they open up against us, there's a high chance that they're going to take an absolute shellacking. You think of like, when this Arsenal team first seriously got going under Arteta, and we had that young core, with Saka and Emma Smith-Rowe and stuff like that, and really connected with the crowd, and it was all super, super positive. And, that season, we weren't even expected to get into the top 4, let alone come second. And it's because teams underestimated us. Teams didn't have any fear of us. Now, teams rock up to hunker down and try to get a smash and grab. And, there's a bit of it, yes, we need to be a lot better at breaking down these teams and things. But, a lot of the time why we have to go back to Raya and why we have Saliba and that as having so much time on the ball is because we're trying to draw teams out on us. Because otherwise, you've literally got Like Man City, when Man City tipped up at us, right? People forget this, and how they didn't get the criticism from the media enraged the crap out of me. They tipped up to us. They got a good breakaway goal. I'm not going to lie. It was, they won possession and it was a devastating counter attack and they scored. They then sat back and basically just tried to survive and nick that 1-0. You had Haaland at one point in the game had more touches in his own box than he did in our penalty box. Like, that's the kind of level of caliber that we're coming up against. So it's no wonder like our goals figures down and we're having to do all this shoehorn nonsense, because it's literally it's so hard. Teams are so organized now. They're so fit. They're so organized now to break down, and it's seemingly like that in every single game. Like I said, but it's night and day with the Champions League. I don't know how you feel about it, Josh, but like I say, you think night and day with the Champions League. Look how we beat Bayern Munich, and absolutely slapped Atletico, and
Yeah, we're top scorers in the Champions League group stages. Like clear, only by a goal, but yeah, 23 goals in 8 games and conceded 4. Goal difference of 19. That's where we're clear. No one got close to that kind of ratio. And I'm also pretty sure, and Rain Man in the top left corner will be able to probably confirm, I'm pretty sure we still hold the record in the league for the biggest winning margin this season, which is 5-0 against Leeds. So when I was going to say, when teams roll over against us, we can finish off. We can be clinical. Well, sorry, no, there's no can. We are clinical against them. There's just that question mark and that habit of where we've conceded goals, especially in the Premier League, how late we're conceding them. Some of them are just turning out to be consolations, right? But it is a trend. I think when it was last pointed out, I think it was at the point where we'd only conceded 8 goals and 5 of them were like in the 89th minute and beyond. But now we're racking up a little closer, and we've seen obviously highlighted a lot more clearly in the United game, where we concede we lose from a draw and they get a win from that point. It's just, I think it's part of hopefully that rallying cry, as you say, Femi. It sounds like we're having one of those every 4 weeks from what Arteta was saying internally. So as a group, they're getting back. And I think the case we're getting to is the team is looking at its worst every time we have those bumper weeks where you have that big Champions League game in the middle or big cup competition. So it's Chelsea. And then you've got 2 big games in the league either side of it. It was the same as when Eze fell off the face of the planet for a couple of weeks after he got the hat-trick at Spurs, played the Bayern game, and was it Chelsea was that weekend? And then we just didn't see him. And I think
that's because he ballsed up against Villa.
Yeah. You think it was, you could see the team was jaded at that point. So yeah, it must have been Villa rather than Chelsea. But and they're clearly going through those and need that kind of pick-me-up. Looking at how the fixture list is kind of falling for us, it's going to be maybe a little bit lucky. It depends on who's fighting for what come the teams lower down the league. But at least the one bit I can take from positive, I can take from the loss against United is that City also lost to this United side. Because I think that, that's the thing that really gets on us. When we don't get the opportunity to play Ruben Amorim's Man United twice in a season because they've sacked him. And we're going, why? Why did we not get to play Graham Potter's West Ham? Why did we have to get Nuno's instead? Or why did we have to get Emery when he was in a good run? Why couldn't we have had Villa at the beginning of the season when they were terrible?
We did get Ange's Nottingham Forest, though.
We did get Ange's Nottingham Forest. That's one positive. But it's that kind of thing of why couldn't we have had them twice? Why did we end up with Sean Dyche's Forest afterwards? And that's always, it's how the season kind of goes. We can't always get that lucky, but I'm just going to take that as just one bit of a hint of silver lining. Sorry, Femi.
Yeah, look at this, Josh. No, sorry, I was cutting you off. That when you're talking about the fixtures, just remind me of something that if we beat Chelsea next week, they're talking about the Wolves fixture moving till February.
Yep.
So now, if you look at the fixtures in February, we've actually only got one home game, and I think 3 away games. So that means at the end of the season, we'll have more home games. So we better fix that home form and not everyone better not get nervous, because we're gonna have more home games coming up. But then because we're gonna have another 3 in a row away games, it looks like in the league in February, I think, if we get Wolves there.
Yeah, there's just about enough space, I think, in the calendar for us to continue on our current run. Because I remember going through it with Ellis maybe last week on the hypothetical, not saying quadruple, but say we beat Chelsea, that game has to move. I think then the Burnley game has to move if we make the FA Cup final, and there's one other game that needs to move if we continue going through the FA Cup. And it does give us 3 games a week, and that's where I say it depends on how our opponents are doing. If we're lucky and we catch like a Fulham who don't have anything to play for and also are looking forward to their holidays or looking forward to the World Cup, we should be able to just breeze through a couple of those. But
the only issue that I can see is we really need that. I mean, it's looking, to be honest with you, it's looking very much like we're going to play Man City in the Champions League if we go through to round of 16.
Didn't someone say we could play them 3 times in a row?
4 times. Well, 3 times in a row, but 4 times, because if we meet them in the League Cup final as well, 4 times in a month. But 3. It will be back-to-back Champions League, and then the league game, I think, is the week after.
We did that many years ago against Leeds United. We had 4 games in a row against them because of when the FA Cup replays. But
that I think scares me a little bit, because the Man City games do take a lot out of us, whether we beat them or we don't. It does take a lot of energy to play them, and for me, that's where you start seeing why teams very, very rarely do trebles, and no one's ever done the quadruple, because you kind of get into that sticky situation where if you kind of, for God forbid, lose the Carabao Cup final to them, and then you have to play them 3 more times after that, it's such a psychological blow. Imagine the pressure that we'll be under if we lose that Carabao Cup final. And the worst thing is, none of us really care about it, but the fact is, it's going to be so loud. It's going to be so much. They can't do it. They can't win a trophy. And because you're in a final as well, it's going to be even 10 times worse than that Man United game. And I've never seen a reaction like losing that Man United game. It's been like the end of the world. Not even to fans, to the media. It's like they've been waiting for that moment.
Hoping.
And if you lose a cup final, the amount of pressure that these players are going to be under is going to be absolutely crazy. And then you go into a triple header with Man City. That's why I'm really hoping that, because I think their draw takes them towards either Inter or Real Madrid. I think they'll beat Inter over 2 legs personally. I don't know. And then, so basically, we're it's Arsenal, Man City. No matter what, it's whether Man City are going to go through their 2 ties that makes a difference. Because I think we'll go through our 1 tie, definitely. I think we'll go through our 1 tie. So they're going to have Inter or Real Madrid, no matter what is the thing. If they win their playoffs, so I'm looking. My eyes are on that draw tomorrow, because that actually could make or break our season in a way.
It does feel like the teams I want to avoid in the Champions League are the English teams, right? It's a bit like when we came up against Chelsea in the Invincible season. It's going, why them? Like, back us against anyone else in Europe.
I think we can only play Man City. The rest of them are going to be in the other side of the draw. They're on their side of the draw. But the thing is, then we might end up playing Barcelona, I think, in the semis. That's all right. Well,
that's all right.
You've
seen Gyökeres against a high line when he's got enough space against a bunch of farmers at the back. He's fine.
I want to come back to something that Richard was talking about the Premier League. And remind me of Anthony Gordon. I take it you all saw his interview this week. For people who didn't hear it, Anthony Gordon, the Newcastle midfielder, winger, whatever his position is, they asked him, what is the difference between playing in the Premier League and playing in the Champions League? And he says, quote, in the Champions League, it's a bit more football based. Oh, that's disgusting. Teams come and try and play more football. In the Premier League, it's become slower and a lot more set piece based. I mean, Rich says it all, doesn't it?
I always thought that Anthony Gordon lad was a beacon of knowledge and a clever person. But no, I agree with him. It's exactly what I didn't know he'd said that, to be fair.
But Rich, isn't it right message, wrong messenger? Because Newcastle are like the architects of this type. I mean, they say Arsenal are the architect. Newcastle are the architect of this type of football. Yeah. After that, someone put stats under that comment. They were like, oh, look, ball and play in games, Newcastle bottom. Longest for restarts. I know we're definitely near the bottom of that, but Newcastle were near the bottom of that. It's like, have you watched your own team play? They literally are the embodiment of what the Premier League is.
Yeah. I think my thing, what I was saying, like I said, what I was saying a bit earlier, is in Europe, in the Champions League, the games are much more open, because I think teams, you've got teams that are much poorer than us, as I said, but you've also got teams trying to win the games, whereas every week you're coming up against two banks of 5, sorry.
That would be hard.
Yeah, that would be hard. Because I think Anthony Gordon hasn't scored in the Premiership for like about a year or something silly like that, isn't it?
That is amazing.
And you look, I saw, because it was a stat that someone sent me the other day. It was like it was Sky Sports, shockers, had put it out, and it was all our attackers' goals in the Premier League. If Bukayo Saka hasn't scored in 13, Martinelli hasn't scored in 9, or whatever, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, wow, that is pretty bad. Forgetting that how many, Martinelli's got what, 5 in the Champions League? I think 5 in a row in the Champions League or something. Was it 6?
He had 5 out of 6. Oh no,
because he scored. Yeah, he scored again against.
How that goal last night didn't get chalked off, because I was certain that Gyökeres touched it and then Martinelli touched it, but that's by the by. But yeah, but then someone put in like Man City's league stats and their attackers, and they're just as bad as ours. They're like, it's
apart from Man United.
Crazy.
Apart from Man United, I think all the top teams got bad. Yeah, all the top teams that's very similar to this recently.
Yeah, the only reason
wide players. Yeah.
So the only reason City's wide players are now scoring is because they signed the only wide player that was scoring goals in Semenyo.
Yeah, wide players are not pulling up trees. Gordon, even Cole Palmer, all of them are not really. I mean, they get one goal every now and then. Doku's
barely getting assists now at the moment. Shirky's only getting
even Mo Salah, drop him in there, like all of them. It's just and I think that's bared out in that biggest win thing that you said. I think I heard a while ago. I didn't really realize it was us that had that, but I heard there's barely been any like 4-0s, even 3-0s are hard to come by in the league now. But the thing is, this. Like we're literally just gonna have to, it's just something that we have to deal with. I think for us, we've been dealing with this for 3 years now, to be honest. Teams have been doing it. It's just that they're doing it against everyone now, but teams have been doing this against Arsenal since, like you said, Rich, that season that everyone thought, oh, what a surprise. By the time we came back from the World Cup, no one thought what a surprise anymore. Everyone was just doing what they're doing now against us, and ever since then because it worked then, they just thought, okay, let's just keep doing that. And then all that happens now is you just end up with these boring games where we'll eventually score somehow, whether it's set piece or some sort of goal. But yeah, that and in the Champions League, remember, you're playing against teams that are actually champions or top 2 in their league.
Yeah.
They're used to, and they're the richest team in their league, so they're used to just absolutely blowing teams away in their league. They're not going to sit back. So
there's that stat when we played Inter Milan and beat them. They were top of Serie A. Played Olympiacos, top of Greece. We played Club Brugge. They were top of Belgium. There was 4 or 5 different leagues that when we played them, they were the top. If you look at Arteta's 2 Champions League group stage seasons, played 16 games, won 14, drew 1, lost 1, conceded 7 goals. I think, is it 7? Yeah, 7 goals in 16 games, which is what Josh was talking about. No one's. We should get a. If that was any other team, they'd all get MBEs for that. It's just because they hate us. But luckily, football is cyclical, whichever one of those you want to say it. And this is just the trend at the moment. Remember, the trend was attacking wing backs when Liverpool won the league 5 or 6 years ago with Robertson and Terence Trent D'Arby. And that was the thing, getting goals and assists from your fullbacks. And now that's moved on. And now everyone's defending. And then even some teams have gone back to trying to play 3 at the back, which has been disastrous for. Has anyone had any luck with playing 3 at the back?
Tottenham have started playing 3 at the back recently.
I mean, I love it on Football Manager.
Last 3 games.
Don't have a winger. I mean, don't have fullbacks. It's just easier for the number of players you need. But everyone is trying everything. So many.
Yeah, but then the only thing with that is people are trying to find a way to break that kind of low block, systematic football. And I think Inter did something interesting against us, which is they just had 2 pure strikers. That could be where we actually go. Yesterday was Arsenal actually played. Havertz started in midfield, but a lot of the times he was playing basically as a striker or second striker. Yeah, it was. And I think that might be a way to that teams start breaking this. Which didn't
Arteta say that in an interview? That he'd like to see us play 2 up front? I can't remember what he said, though.
I don't think Mikel's.
I think it's where he said about Havertz and Gyökeres can play at the same time together. It's not it's kind of hinting that he'd be a striker, or he's hinting that Havertz plays a little bit deeper. But I think it's kind of the way of saying, don't worry, Victor. I know you've clearly got confidence issues now that you've come to a big club and you can't quite deal with the competition.
If you had Rice on the pitch,
I think some of Ezra's best cameos and best bit of performances have been when he's been closer to the striker and more central and a bit to that left, rather than when they try to have him replicate that Odegaard role and he's coming in on his right foot and he's got Saka and Timber in his space. I think of like that Spurs game and stuff like that, where he was a lot more central, a lot more closer to goal, as almost like a 2 kind of, going off what you were saying, Femi.
I think I'd like to see from Gyökeres is improve his hold-up play, because that's where it feels like we've got an issue, right? He can't bring those players in. So as you say, it'd be great if, as you say, Eze works really well when he's playing off a striker. It's what worked at Palace. Mateta isn't actually a great hold-up play player, but he's better than Gyökeres, and he's probably better than most of the players we've got in our squad. But yeah, it's that kind of breakdown. It doesn't feel like he's part of the wheel almost of that. I think you can see it just in some of the decision making and some of the passing. He is just that thoroughbred striker. He just only cares about passing it into the goal, so he's not very accurate at his passing. So I think that's what I'd like to see help that forward line, is if he improved. I was watching the highlights of the Chelsea game last night, and I know I might have a very, very dim candle for João Pedro based on what I've seeing him for a couple of seasons in a Brighton shirt. But the hold-up play and the facts, I actually don't think he's a very good striker. He's a better number 10. But that was the kind of thing you want to see from Gyökeres, is that I'll quickly hold it back. I'll play it back to Odegaard or Eze, spin my defender, and then get that through ball. But we just don't see that from them, and you can see that difference with Jesus. Right?
I'd really love to know. He's such a non-Arteta player, and I think Noni's such a non-Arteta player as well. I'm so sorry. I'd really love to know what he's going to do with these two players in the summer. We can't sell them because obviously that, I don't know what's that word called, amortization or whatever it's called. The way it works is would be making a more loss if we sold them now than kept them for 2 seasons and then sold them, which is. But Noni's end product is, I mean, it's worse than abysmal. I was having this conversation today. I was like, who's the worst Arsenal winger with end product? I know people say Jurrien, but Jurrien is very. Yeah, but someone was pointed out that
Pepe.
He scored goals as well.
Yeah, he scored goals as well. He scored goals as well.
No, sorry, I thought. Sorry, I thought you meant a terrible winger, but had great output.
No. Someone that plays like Noni, who's actually a good dribbler. He can beat his man.
Okay.
But
you know what? I think he's currently training with us. Oxbow Change of Heart. I think. Well, when he was playing down the wing, he was very heads down, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he was so young, though. That's the thing. Noni's 24. He plays like a
issue, right? Yeah,
he plays like a 16-year-old that you're throwing in. Just he's so raw. Like it's like what Max Dowman should be playing like. But Max Dowman could never play like that. It's so weird.
It feels like what Berta kind of has done when Arteta says I need a player with X factor is he's just got someone who's really raw instead. It's like it could be X factor or it could just be unpredictability. like Yaya Sanogo, right, was for Wenger. We brought him on in the FA Cup final. It was, we don't know if you're going to score, but you're going to cause some form of chaos. I mean, I still think to Noni's goal against Club Brugge, right? It's in there somewhere. But maybe he was still aiming for that same goal in Bruges when he took that shot.
Crazy, wasn't it? Look, Jurrien had 23 goals and assists in 63. So he can't really.
Oh, yeah, I mean, but he missed one against Bradford, though.
That's absolutely. Honestly, like, you know what? What's weird? You remember, I think one of the reasons also that they signed him wasn't Eze and Noni, weren't they in the top 5 shots in the Premier League last season? Like most shots of a player. Both of them were in the top 5. Now Eze refuses to shoot, which is so weird. I was watching him yesterday and I was like, just have a shot. Have a shot.
And out of him. If you shoot, you're going to be dropped for 5 games again.
But then we signed them because they take their volume of shots, and then now Noni's just. I mean, his shots and his crossing is wild, and
they called it out from Eze as well of what his end product was like in an Arsenal shirt, and basically it said it was something like 75% of his goal output came against Spurs. That was it. It was something like he scored 4 goals this season, 3 of them against Spurs.
I mean, a player that amount of money for nearly any other Premier League team would be a starter every week, and he knows he's never going to start because of Saka.
Noni or
Noni. Oh, Eze knows he's not going to start because Arteta has his favourites.
Yeah, but remember, oh my God, Villa were losing and now they're winning 3-2. Unbelievable. This team refused to go away. I don't understand. They were losing 2-0 as well. Unbelievable.
Should we talk about... Oh, go on, Femi. What are you going to say?
No. You was talking about... See, the thing that makes me laugh is when he was signed in the summer and we spent that much money on him, I think the sane complaints, not the people that are insane, the sane complaints were like, why do we need to spend 52 million on a backup for Saka? Remember that was the conversation, and a lot of people were like, well, he can play left. That experiment has been abandoned within a couple of weeks or a couple of games, let's say. He does not even go on the left. Like you said, when he came on the other day, they'd rather move Saka to the left than play him to the left. So we literally spent a lot of... I think that's too much money to be paying for a player who was very little output that is never going to replace Saka.
No, I liked the fact that he was against those kind of games like Club Brugge. He can take those minutes away from Saka. But as you say, we've paid
that price.
We've paid a lot of money to allow Saka to rest, but it's also detrimented a player who's now gone to go to Marseille on loan, because it would have been Ethan would have taken those minutes.
If he wanted to play right, I don't know. It doesn't look like they.
No.
I'm guessing that might have been something to do with his contract negotiations, that he doesn't want to play right, and he's never gone back there.
Yeah, and it was it's fair enough. He's gone out to Marseille now. He is going to do great things.
He's already the best player in the league behind Hendrick, not Hendrick. Hendrick's been unreal. Have you seen what he's been doing?
Yeah.
It just shows the poverty of that league.
Up there. And PSG falling off a cliff, kind of. Although they're back top now, I think.
Do you think we should talk about Femi's favourite subject? I'm just going to go and dual screening it here. There we go. Got the injuries up. Currently, we've only got one player injured and two players of knocks. Timber and Saliba have both got niggles at the moment. But Femi, if for people at home that are on the bus having a poo, walking the dog, or shitting in your neighbour's garden, this is that all these stats are from Transfer Market. They're not mine, and I've got a little formula there that works out how many days they've missed. I'm not adding it up myself because we all know I can't fucking add. Total number of games and days that our collective first team players have missed since the first game of the season is 812 days, which is unbelievable. And they've missed a combined 159 games, Femi. We're down to one.
I would say zero. I don't count Max Dowman in there, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
How many? He wouldn't have played a single minute of any of these games apart from the cup games. So I would have just taken him out because he barely played anyway, and he's just turned 60.
Yeah.
So this is the first time I can remember us having a fully fit squad in about 3 seasons.
Steady. Getting excited.
And the rest of the league now are dropping like flies.
Spurs got 14 out.
Spurs have got massive injuries. If you look at some of their injuries, it's like 3 months, 4 months, 2 months. All of them. Liverpool lost Frimpong again to another hamstring, but now he's torn it. So they're saying 3 to 4 months. Man City lost defenders 2 months and months. So yeah, we can't really complain right now. They've performed a miracle. I don't know what the physios are doing right now. They must have given them a different job in the club right now.
They're mostly doing Sudoku.
I think the biggest change has been the fact that how big our squad is now. Because when you think like injuries, and I mean it's too small for me to thingy, but like we've lost various people for spells this season and stuff like that. Whereas last year we didn't have anybody to come in and pick up the slack. Last season we got absolutely decimated by injuries, and I think maybe we haven't had people out for as long. But at the start of the season, didn't Saka have a little brief spell? Odegaard had a little brief spell. We've had Saliba out. We've had Gabriel out. We've had Calafiori. We thought he was all cured and stuff like that, but the Femi curse struck him again, and he was out for a little while.
Isn't it easy to say, Richard? The only player who's not been injured is the 2 goalkeepers. That's it. Every other player has had time out injured, haven't they?
I thought Raya had a knock, didn't he, in one of the games? But it was coincidence over a cup game.
But whereas
last season, that was when Neto played. Remember when he almost saved the ball on the halfway line? I'm saying that I saw someone in the stadium yesterday with a Neto goalkeeping shirt. I was like, what?
The Australian goalkeeper. There was 2 others, weren't there? We had Matt Ryan, famous Gooner, and there was that other one, that French goalkeeper we had on loan during, I think, maybe the Invincible season. He never got a game. But so I remember the ex-Man United, Jim Leighton, we had him on loan as well.
Jim
Never got the
Leighton.
Yeah.
That's a blast from the past.
Never be-
Was
there'll never be
it
any.
something like Moritz? No, that wasn't his name. I'm thinking of that goalkeeper that we brought in on loan.
The one that didn't play?
Yeah, I don't think he played.
Viviano.
No. I'm not
Viviano.
thinking of that. I'm thinking of someone else. There was another goalkeeper that we had with a name that I can't think of. But yeah, Viviano's another good one.
Central midfielder that we had, youth player.
Well, I was thinking back to the injuries though, and saying that we got away with it a little bit. I do remember Cristhian Norgard having to start a game at centre back for us. So we have had our looking at.
Wasn't that the Villa game?
Yeah, I think so. We had Gravenberch. For Liverpool, Gravenberch has had to play centre back a couple of times for them as well. So we have had across our defence.
They have, I think, 3 fit defenders now. Liverpool.
Yeah, Gomez is injured.
He's
Canate's
injured.
Yeah. They one defender they bought as part of their £400 million spend did his ACL in pre-season or like a minute.
His first game.
Yeah, first game did his ACL, and I still find it wild that they've not brought anybody in.
They don't trust him because they know a new manager might not want the players that he brings in.
That's the point. That's not the point, though, is it? That's the point of their whole system. They brought in. Was it Jason Wilcox? Is there, or is that at United?
That's United.
Yeah.
He
won the league with Blackburn.
They brought in they brought in the Bournemouth one. Was he the one at Bournemouth? Richard Hughes, maybe. I'm thinking.
He was an Arsenal young player. We got him from Atalanta, where he grew up, and he was at the Arsenal for a while before we let him go to Bournemouth. But he's done well. Yeah. Like Brian Marwood, remember him? He's quite high up at Man City now, isn't he? Unless they fired him. I saw him playing for Barnet once. He didn't look well.
But yeah, they've
Deserby's quit Marseille.
Has he?
Why did we send Ethan there? Get him back.
They should just make a Aubameyang player manager. They'll win every game 9-5. I know we've been going an hour and 20 minutes of the. We've mixed things up a little bit this week, people. We've got back to the way we used to. I said to this lot, we for years just went and people just having a chat, and then slowly, bit by bit, we've gone, what's your answer? What's your answer? So tonight we tried not to do that. Let us know in the comments or email us. We don't have an email address. I'll put Josh's phone number in the chat box later, and you can just WhatsApp or text Josh or give him a ring at work. He will love that, and tell us what you think about us doing it this way round rather than the host having questions and dealing them out one by one. But the transfers, because we've been going an hour and 17 minutes. Are we going to see any transfers in on loan or buying this window, or do we even need any? That's something I think we should cover.
No, what's the point? We've got too many players already. We made 11 changes yesterday, and we still had a very good team. Zinchenko's off ski. That's the news tonight.
Aren't we having to pay? Are they paying 1.5 million? Tell us about that, because you were talking about it in the WhatsApp, and I didn't.
Yeah, it's really complicated. So I think they're going to give us 1.5 based on if they qualify for the Champions League.
I thought it was 1.5 plus if they qualify.
Is it? Who knows? Yeah. But it's 1.5 million euros, so it's about £1 million. But I think the sticking, which is the sticking point was, obviously he's got 6 months left on his Arsenal contract, so he wanted that paid off. But the problem is we've shelled out most of that 6 months to Nottingham Forest, and Nottingham Forest didn't put a break clause in it. So Arsenal was probably telling Nottingham Forest, well, you've got to pay some of that money to us as well, because you promised you were going to pay it to us. But it looks like it's been sorted out now anyway. The one that I'm really interested in, and one player that I've really kept my eye on because I personally think he should be given a chance, but I guess it is tough, is Brooke Norton-Coffey. He's going to Inter Milan. I've always kept an eye on him. Since he went on his first loan, he's been exceptional. Everywhere he's been, Coventry, then he's gone to Genoa and he's been really good. On the 21s, he was really good. And he's moving to Inter Milan now, which is absolutely brilliant for him. And I think we've got a sell-on clause there as well, which we'll get money from. I think he's one to really look out for in the future. So yeah, I'd really be excited to see how he does at Inter, because I know they've lost Dumfries for a while as well. Yeah, but that's one to keep an eye on as well. One player anyway.
I mean, so we're going to get 1.5. I mean, the thing with Zinchenko is his wages, isn't it? That's what the big problem is. I'm just looking here to see if I can find out. He's on 150 grand a week, and we paid 30 million for him in July 2022. I mean, that's 7.8 million pound a year wages. So, as with a lot of players we don't want anymore, we've got to look at not how much we're getting for them, but how much we will save on our wages.
I also think we need to look at for things like Zinchenko and stuff like that. Is yes, we paid a fair chunk of money for him, but for 2.5 seasons, he raised our level a hell of a lot. It's not like he was a busting flush straight away. Like he was a good player for us until his legs went a little bit and people were able to expose him more defensively. On the ball, that guy was class for us, man.
Yeah, I agree.
The defensive midfielder role, because that's Tierney was just up and down the left. He was, as we all know, left back, left wing back, but then left central defensive midfielder. But then, like you said, the problem was getting back from that position to left back when quick players were attacking. He got found out, but he did a job. He was an upgrade. Arteta tactics wise, he was an upgrade from Tierney, and Tierney was an upgrade from Monreal, and Zinchenko has been upgraded by Timber at first, and now Hincapié, and then MLS whenever they need him, and Calafiori, which is upgrade in every single possible way. He's a beautiful bastard. Me and Chris were sharing pictures of him the other day. I don't know if that's allowed. Are we allowed to share pictures of the beautiful bastard? He's too good looking for the Premier League. I showed pictures of him to Sean and her mum, and they both go, "Oh, beautiful." That's the way it goes. Anything else we want to talk about? We've been going 1 hour, 20 minutes. I'm sure you've got shit to go and do.
I was thinking about transfers, and I did think that maybe there was it feels like we might need something to get us through, but it's where we can fit that into our squad. I think we've got space in terms of, from the Premier League squad, we've got space. So we can add other players, but Femi, as you can say, with everybody back, there's 3 first team senior pros that don't make the match day squad.
So
unless we go around the changing rooms and start smashing up kneecaps just to get some people injured, so no one feels like they're missing out. It's that kind of thing of, I did wonder if we had a smaller squad, we'd look at doing something. Jesus was the one that I thought was going to go, probably back to Brazil, but I think Brazil was spending all of their money on bringing Paquetá back to the
45 million. You could
buy they've got money. But they've got money though. They've got money because they were in the Club World Cup. This is how that tournament has ruined certain types. So teams that are in nations that don't generally get big TV money, if you're in that tournament, you're like ching ching, like you've got 100 million just for turning up.
Who can we flog to Wellington Phoenix then? They're good.
I guess by the time Odegaard would have got there, his contract would have expired and he'd have been a free agent, so he wouldn't have got any money for him.
I mean, we've talked a few times about Tammy Abraham. 18 million. That's someone I'd like to have seen at the club for even if he's here for just for 2 years or a year and a half. I reckon he'd have done something. Like Ollie Watkins.
Villa problem. I'm telling you, and I think people are really not paying attention. I'm not saying they're going to win the league, but the way the Champions League draw is going, I think Villa, if they stay close, are going to be closer than everyone thinks. I think people just underestimate them so much. I've just seen their result tonight. They were 2-0 down. They've won 3-2. They're top 2 in the Europa League.
Classic Emery basketball football, like absolute classic. And but their big get out of jail free card in a minute is Morgan Rogers. Oh, kid is absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love him. I would love for us to have signed him. I think he's such a good talent.
Was he
And
from Forest?
I'm going to say to that, he's from Man City, Borough via Man City, or Man City via Borough, I should say.
I didn't know Douglas Luiz was at Man City, wasn't he? They brought him in from
their
Brazil.
academy.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Do you know what I was going to say to you, Rich? Is everything that you're saying about Morgan Rogers is what I was saying about Eze last season.
Yeah.
That's what I was just saying. You can't just.
I know. I just think that lad's got so much. He's got creative talent, but he's got a physicality. Yeah. He can beat you with skill. He can beat you with pace and power. And I don't know if it's going to like be a bit, a bit of a purple patch, but he's scoring important big goals for Villa. He's such a massive, potent weapon for Villa. I would love for us to sign him. I really would. But I know what you mean. Like I say, it's sometimes it doesn't always work in the system, or it doesn't always work straight away. But oh my God, what a player!
It's the way we play Havertz. I could see Morgan Rogers slipping into that, as you say, with his physicality. But yeah, there's no way we can get him out of Villa at this time. Their PSR is, even though it's terrible, they can still shift things around, can't they?
So going forward, now that everyone's back, I know it's going to be game by game, different people are going to be playing, but we saw last night that we've seen when Eze plays instead of Odegaard, we play brilliant. We saw last night when Odegaard came on for Havertz, we shut the game down and nothing happened. And so there's two players there that the people who watch the games would rather have playing there rather than Odegaard, Havertz or Eze. So is it going to be the future of Eze playing there, or is he going to make Eze play up, Havertz play there, or is he going to make Havertz play up front and replace Gorkes? How's that going to go?
It feels to me that actually, if I was going to look for another player to come in from externally, that would be the position I'd want. I'd want another creative player to come into the side and into the squad, because I think we still lack that. Even with Eze and what he's shown, I think the other thing is we've got to take that first half against Karat with a massive pinch of salt in terms of how much space we had in that midfield.
They were garbage, mate.
It was one thing that really surprised me, Femi, is Eze's a fantastic dribbler, but he didn't dribble through that midfield. He'd pick up the ball and he would pass through the lines instead of, normally you'd see him aggressively attack a man and dribble, but I just didn't see that from him. And I was wondering if that's either a Artetaism or was there just something about Eze that what's changed on that front, that he wasn't dribbling with it, just wasn't taking on a man. And that's what we need to see as a central dribbler.
Because he's been told. That's why he got dropped for 5 games. Because you're not doing as you're told. I don't want you doing that.
Even at 3-0 up, 3-1 up, just didn't see any more from him. With 2-1 up, didn't see.
I thought he played. Yeah, he played really well yesterday.
He played really well, but in that,
like I said, that team was absolute garbage, mate. They're so rubbish. When they crossed the halfway line, their fans would go absolutely crazy. By the way, their fans took over one of our West End upper. I looked across, and when they scored, they took over like a whole set. I don't know how they got the tickets.
Are they Russian?
No,
Kazakhstan.
I don't know how they got the tickets.
They're practically next to China, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's why I was praying when we got the draw that we didn't get them away, because I was like, mate, sod that.
Most of their fans were women and children, because the noises that were coming out of them it sounded like, when you go to, I don't even want to say this, but when you listen to women's games and it's like that screaming, that like not like come on, it's like
squealing,
like squealing, And but I don't understand how they scored 2 goals against us. It was so bad. They're probably the worst team we've played in a long time.
So someone described the sounds they were making like they were watching a game show rather than actually game. It was that kind of thing.
Do you guys remember? Do you guys remember the? I think she was nicknamed the Highbury Screamer.
Oh, that lady.
Maria.
She was an ex-teacher. She passed away a couple of years ago.
Was that the one that went to the she followed the women's and like the women's game there? Was that her?
Yeah,
oh wow. I just remember because obviously when I worked at Arsenal we used to have the season review playing on the TVs and stuff like that, and whenever the opposition goal went in, literally just before the ball hit the net, you'd hear this scream. I didn't know that was her. I didn't know that was her.
Yeah, she used to sit below me as
her.
well. Yeah,
and Sophie from the Highbury squad knew her. I think a lot of people knew her. But I remember one time when I was there at Highbury, someone stood up and shouted, "Shut up, you silly cow!" And bloody hell, the masses descended upon him, and he never said it again. She was part of Highbury folklore. That woman, it's wonderful. Yeah, an ex-teacher. But yeah, it's well. I mean, I don't think Arteta and Arsenal get enough credit. You've got the best teams in the world in that league, and to have played 8, won 8, scored 23, like Josh was saying, and only conceded 4, a goal difference of plus 19, which is 5 better than anyone else. The only team to have beaten Bayern Munich this season, apart from when Augsburg did it a little while ago, last weekend, and their Twitter account, Augsburg was brilliant. But I think that's just the last thing I want to say on it. We've been fantastic, and hopefully it will carry on. Full squad full of players, and it's going to look good. Just hopefully Odegaard gets a bit of a rest.
The one thing that did annoy me about the Champions League is how Spurs have somehow ended up 4th in that table. But did you see who they ended up? Yeah. They drew 6 of that bottom. And the people who just fell out of the competition.
And you know what, Josh? When they did the draw, I'll really try and pick out my WhatsApp message I sent. I said this is Spurs are going to go through because they've got the most Europa League draw ever. You could see that the teams that they were playing was just, it didn't make any sense. And that's I think for all the complaints about the Champions League, I don't really care about the format because whether you home away, all of that. So I kind of like it a little bit, but
I like it.
I think
way,
but I think they need to figure out the way that teams are playing each other because you can't have, Tottenham were in the 3rd pot, I think, and they were drawing teams that were strong. I mean, we had a harder draw than them, and we were in the 2nd pot. So the higher up that you are in the pots, you seem to get a harder draw than if you're in a lower part of the pots. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Even though they're picking 2 from each pot, if you get 2 average teams from each pot, then we drew Bayern and Inter from pot 1. They drew like some absolute garbage.
They had PSG and who else?
They didn't play PSG.
I thought they drew PSG.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. I think they did. No, did they?
They draw against them. I thought they drew against PSG.
No, I think they played PSG in the Super Cup in the.
Spurs had Villarreal at home, then they were away to Bordeaux and Monaco. Then they were home to Copenhagen, away at PSG, home to Slavia Prague and Dortmund, and away to Frankfurt.
So they were away at PSG.
Dortmund was the other pot 1 team. I remember going through it. I was like, how the hell did they do it?
Unbelievable.
I mean, they drew 2-2 away at Bodo Glimt, which is a venereal disease.
I actually watched that game as well. They were lucky to draw 2-2.
That was so lucky. I remember seeing that one.
Doesn't like 90 the village, the town turn up for the games.
Yeah, and then Man City lost there. And last 2 games, they beat Man City and Atletico Madrid to qualify.
Lovely to see.
But
we've been going an hour and a half. Anything else anyone wants to say before we go? Before my cat pushes everything off the fucking table.
Yeah, is Edu all right? See what Forest are trying to do.
Oh, what, the goalkeeper thing?
They've done scattergun. They've gone scattergun with who they're trying to bring in. Edu's gone mad.
That goalkeeper's decent. There, one isn't he like the second best goalkeeper in the league?
Matt Sells is very good.
Yeah.
Who are they trying to bring in?
The Wolves one, aren't they?
Jose Sarr.
Or is it the West Ham one?
Yeah, Jose Sarr. Yeah,
Jose
Femi put it in,
Sarr.
Jose Sarr.
Is his agent? What's that? Is it Jurrien?
Yeah.
Is that it?
That's it.
Probably.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah,
Almost
you've got to look at
definitely.
that. Actually, yeah, that's true. I never thought about that. They're trying to bring another Brighton player, right?
They tried
Didn't they bid
to.
for a
They
Brighton
put
player?
a bid in for. What did
Camburn.
they do?
Is it
they've done
Dunk? Did
3.
someone try to buy Dunk?
Yeah. Yeah, they
I
put
knew
in a
it was
bid of
one.
Dunk. Then they tried Hinchelwood, and they today tried a Yari. So they put in 3 bids, and they're just like, I think at some point Tony Blame's just going to turn his phone off. He's going to block Edu. It's just like the guy's going to have no contacts left by the end of the.
I mean, look how many he signed for
window.
us.
Yeah. Oh, you know,
And-
by after the Benfica game yesterday, Arteta will have seen that there's a goalkeeper that can score from set pieces, and Edu would have signed him.
Yeah, I meant to bring that up. Where is it?
Yeah, so I sent that to
share
you.
screen, entire screen. That one, share. There you go. Classic meme, works with anything. It's Leonardo DiCaprio in that one about the film about Hollywood, and it says Arteta to Berta after seeing as a goalkeeper who can score from set pieces. Classic. True though, hell of a. I mean, that's magnificent. weren't Benfica winning 3-2, but they had to win 4-2 to get out to get into the playoff bit, and he did it in the very last minute after Rio had two players.
I think it was the last touch of the ball. That was like they didn't even kick off again. I think
I was watching it. Mourinho said that he wasn't told until the 93rd minute that they still needed another goal because something had happened, because they had to wait for the Bodo result to go through as well as the Marseille result.
He's such a liar. He is.
Yeah,
he's so lucky. Honestly, like they all.
And I heard that Real Madrid rehired Alonso just to sack him for that game.
Oh my god! Who was the first one? Asensio. What a prick of a player! Did you see his second yellow card? He just basically physically assaulted someone on the halfway line for no reason.
That's the Real Madrid, and the rules don't apply to them.
And then
they're like a teenage girl.
Rodrigo was sent off because he was arguing with the referee that he disallowed a goal by Mbappe. Not even Mbappe was that annoyed, because he kicked the Benfica goalkeeper was trying to take a goal kick out of his hands, and Mbappe did the cheeky thing of, I try and hook it out while you're still swinging for it. Stuck it in the net. Goalkeeper disallowed. Referee disallowed it. Rodrigo got a second yellow card for dissent.
Good. So they'll miss the next game. Real Madrid, they make it top 8? I can't remember.
No, because of that result,
I don't think
Man City leapfrogged them.
Oh, so
they are.
Be in the playoff.
So I think, based on the playoff, because it's Real Madrid and Inter, I think they can draw Benfica or Bodo.
That'd be nice. No, can they play Benfica? Would they do it when they play them again?
Yeah, because Benfica are 24th, and I thought that's how the pots work out.
Oh yeah, could be. That'd be interesting. Jose going back there
again. I think the only reason he would have kept that at 3-2, if it wasn't that they needed another goal to qualify, was just so he could say, I can beat Real Madrid, that you should have hired me. Just get me in. Because he was trying to get sacked from Benfica a couple of weeks ago as well, after only just going there.
Well, Benfica are nowhere near winning the league. Porto are running away with it.
Jose loves a payout. He loves getting sacked. Get that payoff and piss off. Like he loves that.
The rumor is he'll be back in the Premier League, and Amorim will take the Benfica job.
Well, they don't seem. There's no loyalty over there, is he? Very rarely will you see a Man City manager going to Man United, or a Spurs manager going from there to Arsenal. But in Italy, AC Milan and Inter Milan share managers all the time. They go, no,
it's just easier. He's already got a parking space.
Well, yeah. It's going to be interesting. Because everyone knows that Benfica job is only until something better comes up. Which
Definitely.
is weird.
And with,
I do like
as you say, half of the, over half of the Premier League are not going to be there in terms of managers.
But we're in an era now where you see remember a couple of years ago when you had the De Boer when he was sacked from Crystal Palace after about 6 or 7 games. And you thought, God, we can't do that in the Premier League. That's the kind of shit they do in Spain and in South America. When you see a Brazilian manager at Corinthians has been at 32 other Brazilian clubs. And now you're seeing it more. We saw it with the fat Greek. He got fired from Forest after about half an hour. And then the matey boy got fired from West Ham after about half an hour. You're seeing it more and more and more. It's not going to be long before managers will get fired as soon as they get hired.
I think Nuno's managed half the Premier League, isn't he?
Yeah, did. Yeah, Wolves and Forest and West Ham.
Spurs.
Yeah. But the record is 8 teams by, I think it's Big Fat Sam has managed 8 different Premier League sides.
I was just trying to work out what the 5 managers were in our little private chat for the ones that would stay on next season. Because Femi, I think you said there was 5. I was trying to work it out. So Keith Andrews at Brentford, I think he's staying. Arteta, Lebris at Sunderland, Rossinia.
And then Rossini's going to stay?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
They love him. They
Who
love
him?
Blue Coat. Blue Coat.
Oh, Blue Coat. I thought he meant the player. They're too much for him. He's like a 14-year-old boy who's gone into the sixth form changing rooms. He's just going to get bullied, beaten up, do a wedgie on him and kick him out.
Well, remember, they're all children that are there as well. There's no John Terry, Drogba, Cech, Lampard who's going to try and get you out if you don't say yes or no. He's the experienced person in the room.
Silva is safe at Fulham, isn't he?
No, his contract's out.
Done.
Yeah. So Silva, Glasner, and who's the other
Iraola.
one? Irola. They're all said already they're going.
Well, they've not. Only Glasner said he's going. The other 2 haven't signed a new contract.
I can see Silva ending up at Tottenham.
I can see end up at United.
Emery leaving. Yeah. I think Emery might end up at United. I've got a fair for that if they don't go for Carrick.
Yeah, well, the Sunderland manager's safe.
Yeah, so
unless he sees one of these big jobs.
Goal. But I don't think they'll sack Eddie out. But fans for him.
I mean, he's been hanging on for dear life for the last 3 seasons, hasn't he?
I thought for Spurs they'll try and get Pochettino because I don't think he's staying at the US.
They've just paid him a fortune because they're hosting the World Cup.
After the World Cup, he's gone.
I just saw a report today that he was criticising them, or he's criticising a player, Timothy Weah. That's it. I just randomly saw that. Because Timothy Weah was complaining about the ticket prices, and then I don't understand. Pochettino was saying, "We're not politicians."
You're moaning. You're going to be on the bench.
I said, "Talk about your job, like
you're going to be playing. It's fine, mate."
So it looks like the only ones that are safe is Arteta, unless they decide to lose. Arteta, Emery, Rossinia, Moyes, and Farkle.
Keith Andrews at Brentford.
Of course, yeah. In Brentford, they didn't want to give him the job. They gave it to him. Well, fuck me, you're good. But that might be a 1-season wonder.
I don't know. Seems like he's doing something right. Although that being said, they've lost 10 games this season, and
don't jinx it.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. I think we've ground to a halt there. Anything we want to say before we go?
No, just thanks for having me, Danny.
Always a pleasure. Never a joy. Always the other way around. One of the two. Josh, any wise words?
No, not today.
No? Fair enough. And Femi, you're the poor fucker who's got to go to all these games. You'll be bored to tears and win the title. It's a catch-22, isn't it?
Just give us some warm weather, man. It's like the long, it's like winter it's just the longest winter ever. It's just cold all the time.
And we're in for another spell soon.
No,
the problem is, Femi, you keep going to hot countries on holiday or for work.
No, I went to New York and it was freezing. My first ever holiday, I had to take a coat.
There's your problem. You keep going on more cold weather holidays, and then you're like, actually, it's really warm in the UK. It's amazing. Yeah.
Right then, thank you very much everybody for being on tonight. I hope you enjoyed the show. Let us know if you prefer us doing it this way. Well, it's just easier to do it this way, then I don't have to think of any questions for you lot. We will be back in February. Not sure when, sometime. And then yeah, thanks very much for listening, and we will speak to you all later. Goodbye.